And with that, Sam, we're going to turn this podium over to you. It's your turn.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm overwhelmed at the amount of people that have come in here, and the awful beauty and listening to my son and having all the things that he said to me today, get a little emotional. And, there's a lot of crying goes on at retirement parties, but I'm not going to cry. I never have cried. Last time I cried was at my circumcision. Particularly impressed with my long friend and colleague Dave Evans' kind remarks about me, this party, and I'm really don't have to worry about. I think Dave had part to do in this party. The last time I remember that he attended a birthday party that was kind of a surprise, and this was somewhat of a surprise to me. The guy had the birthday party and he canned him about an hour later. I was down in Louisville, Kentucky, but I don't even have to worry about that, do I? But I also appreciate the things that Bob Rogers, John Knopf, Bob Golden, Bill Herman, all these things are very touching and are very nice for you to say in front of my family, because, when you're a father, sometimes you're one way at the office and you turn into a pumpkin when you go home. But I'm glad that you told me that I wasn't on one way. Bob Rogers really reminds me of something. I remember when he went to work. He got married on a Friday or a Thursday or Friday, and we gave him 1 day off for his honeymoon. That's right. I felt bad about that. That was a terrible thing to do to a guy that got married and has been a bachelor as long as he had. And several months later, I apologized to Nancy. I said, let Bob take some time off. And she said, oh, don't worry about it, Sam. All he did is run in the bathroom and cry. And my good friend John, we got Reagan talking about going to save the taxpayer. We got a whole new tax program. John and I were talking about the other day, talking about these 3 martini lunches. They haven't said a damn thing about 3 craft lunches. I think we're in, John. Bob Golden, I want to spare a special appreciation to Bob Golden, because he really, not appreciation, but he was so grateful. He expressed his greatness when we moved him from Miami to St. Louis. He was so grateful that he came out and he thanked us and he brought him on. It was really what did help you, Bob. You're glad about that, and anybody would like to move from Miami to St. Louis, I know. Herman, your golf game is just going to have to suffer until I can find time during my busy retirement to get around and help you. Bill's been a great friend of mine, and I'll tell you, it's funny, and I'm going to say this seriously. My game always improves when I play with Bill. I think it's because he doesn't look down on duffers, and he tries to help them. And he talked about how much I helped him in his career, which I appreciated. He helped me a lot, not only in golf, but being the kind of a man he is. A few things that I want to remember, that I do remember is Don Radke and Ken Duncan took me to an oyster cocktail party in Houston, Texas one night. They had a bowl of oysters as big as this table there. And we ate all those oysters. They were free. But did you ever want me to give them more advertising money? Now, it's hell to sit around for 3 hours and see two grown men cry for advertising money. Yeah, well, I really have enjoyed the 36.5 years I've been with this company. I guess there's great events happen in your life. You know, you're born, you don't know about it, but that's got to be a great event for all of us. Then you become of the age of reason. You start figuring out what this world's all about. You go to school. Then you go to work, or you get married, or maybe you do both at about the same time. And then, after you work, there comes a time when you should retire. It's just another phase in your life. And I feel I'm a very fortunate man in all these aspects of my life. The family I've got, the company I work for. And I might say this on a little business side. Dave's talking about the records that you closed. And I hate to be, if I was the kind of guy that would say, I told you so, I would remind Dave that 3 days ago I told him so. That's a fact. And we'll pull it out. And I said, you won't have to go up at the end of that month and go into that conference in the cafeteria with Frank and Bob and yell at, oh, man, you talk about grown men crying. You ought to see Frank and Bob do it. There's one thing that Frank and Bob and Dave has said, and you gentlemen come from, ladies and gentlemen come from all over the country. I'm not going to do much traveling because I did a lot of traveling, but I am going to get out and see y'all because I like you as much as you like me, believe me. And they said that, Sam, when you go out, we'd sure like for you, even after you get off this consulting job, we want you to visit the districts and, you know, we're all big one family. And they said no matter what happens, when it comes for meals for others, if your name's on it, they won't even question it. No matter how much big it is, or anything, meals for others is wide open. And I really did appreciate that, guys. I have no kidding. Really, that I've been a sissy all my life. Now, I had to come to that conclusion because I'm an honest man. You heard my son say so. And I realized that I was a sissy all my life when I looked up the definition of the word sissy in Webster's dictionary. You know what it says? It says a sissy is a young boy who likes to play with girls' things.